So, hello, welcome to Thursday, March 19th. And yes, it's powerful day. Always lined up with powerful days on Receptive Radio here. So, if you're tuning in, you're lining up with something powerful for yourself today. And I want to share some deep work that I've been doing lately because when we do this deep inner work, you realize that other people are going through the same thing, or they're experiencing something similar and can relate to your message. So let me know in the comments after I start getting into it if this might relate with you. And thank you for watching live, and thank you for watching the replay. And here's another good thing. I now have 200 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching this for the very first time on YouTube, please like this post, like this episode, comment, let me know what you think, and also subscribe to this channel. This is a channel where you can come and get tuned up from wherever you are. You can open up to your receptivity. You can get clear on something that might be bothering you. And there's over 250 episodes in this channel already. So you can binge watch and start to feel better just by watching. And you can also contact me to find out more how to go deeper with me and work on the inner work that really transforms your life. So yeah, if you're growing, if you're expanding, if you're stepping into this next level in your life and you're wondering, why do I always go back to where I was before? Why is there this, I'm doing it, it's happening, and then all of a sudden you go back to the familiar, you go back to some comfort level. Something happens to drop you back down out of that higher frequency where you've been operating, you've been having success. Why is there this up and down? Well, I've been exploring this topic for a long time, and I go inside of it myself sometimes, and I got some more clarity just in the last 7 days. So I want to share that with you. And there is a lot of information out there right now saying, oh, it's the universe doing this, it's the cosmos doing this, it's because of the new moon, it's because of this. Those can influence us, but don't give it your power. Don't give it your power. The power is within you. And so it might be bringing things up to the surface that you need to look at. That is within you to look at. It's not the moon doing it to you. I'll just give you my 2 cents on that. So the moment that you start deciding something is the moment the energy happens. So in January, I'm a shamanic practitioner. That is a big foundation work, part of the work that I do. And I do shamanic journeys. I do shamanic pilgrimages for myself to become more powerful so that I can be of greater service. And that requires me doing the inner work. So if I teach inner work, I am doing the inner work too. So what I have discovered long time ago, but I know that this is the truth because I've practiced it many times. When you push the button on something, when you decide to do something, when you register for something, when you pay for something, when you commit to something, that is when the energy starts moving in the direction of what you want as the result. So on January 15th, I hit the button myself. I was in the process of doing the Activate Your Prosperous Life Summit. On January 15th, I decided to register for an annual pilgrimage with my shamanic teachers, and it goes to Mexico, and there's a lot of preparation and commitment and money and travel expenses to do it, and time and energy. So on January 15th, I registered, and there's limited amount of spots and all that kind of stuff. So you have to be, and there's no refunds. So if you decide you're not going to go, you don't get your money back either. So you have to decide. You have to know before January 15th if you're going to go on this trip. And And it's not an easy trip to do. There's an initiation process here. And I decided I was doing it. And so that was the moment when everything started moving in the direction of why I am going to this event. Why am I doing this pilgrimage? And why am I doing it is to become more whole, more powerful, more myself, more my true nature, who I really am, and be of greater service. And if that's the result I want, then whatever is in the way of that has to be looked at. That is the inner work that needs to be done. And so you can kind of reverse engineer your results about the path that has to happen. But if you want something like more money, more freedom, more time, more better relationships, better clients, better life, there is something that has to change to get there. And it can get exciting when you really want to do it and you start expanding and you're, oh yeah, it's happening, it's happening. But then something happens where you see something within yourself, like fear or doubt or unworthiness, come up to the surface, and it scares you. It shakes you to the core, and it can derail you. It can get you to shrink if you don't know how to deal with it, or if you don't want to look at it, or if you're trying to run away from it, or you want to cope. And so you can have something face you that you really want something. You want more money, more clients, more recognition, the life of your dreams. But if what needs to be cleared comes up to the surface, like unworthiness, for example, let's use that one, or doubt that you're good enough. If that comes up to the surface and you can't face that by yourself and you don't want to go into it deeper, usually what you do is you go to the familiar. You go to the familiar, because I know this because I do it myself, right? You go to the familiar that will make you feel better so that you don't have to deal with that situation, right? So you go to food is a number one thing that people go to: ice cream, chocolate, desserts, carbs, bread, whatever it is, right? For you, that gives you comfort. For me, it's matcha lattes or a latte with coffee in it. I'll go there for comfort. But they can be more destructive habits too. So those destructive ones that are not healthy for you, that derail you from looking at your thing, is where you interrupt this expansion, this road to your results. And then that perplexes you, and you're like, well, why am I doing this to myself? Why do I want this, but I can't get there? I want this, but I can't get there. And so it gets confusing. And maybe I'm even confusing you right now, but hopefully not. If you're following along, I'm talking about the moment you decide, and I'm talking about the new paradigm that you really want to have in your life. And Bob Proctor, I've been listening to him a lot. He talks about this: change your life, change your paradigm. Okay. If we're really used to that familiar old paradigm operating in our lives, and then we want something new for our lives, the old paradigm is going to fight you the whole way. It's going to come up every minute to say, are you sure you really want that? Because you like it over here on the couch watching Netflix. Oh, but you love your chocolate so much because it helps you not do the things that you need to do to get to that new dream that you want. Or, oh, are you sure you don't want some wine tonight? Or, like, are you sure? It will keep questioning you. Are you sure? And so you have to keep choosing. You have to keep choosing the path that will get you to where you want to go. And it's not easy. It's extremely difficult to change a paradigm that has been operating for like 50 years or 20 years or 10 years or even, 3 months, a bad thing or a thing that gets in your way anyway. Because it's comfortable, because it's familiar. And you don't even realize that it's in the way. It's in the way. And this can happen with our thinking. This can happen with our feelings. This can happen in our energy. This can happen in our body. And when you have a goal that you want something, you have to decide that you want it. Otherwise, you'll never test yourself enough to get there. You'll never test yourself enough to get there because you'll just go back to the familiar. You go back to that familiar road. And the closer you want to try and get to that next level of more money, more clients, more freedom, more time, more in love with your life, the old paradigm is going to challenge you every step of the way until you deal with it, until you deal with those feelings of unworthiness, until you stop doubting yourself, until you stop choosing the drink, smoke, drugs, whatever it is that numbs you so that you don't face the fear that is showing up for you. And that's exactly what I help people do. So I'm going to go back to this story I was talking about, the pilgrimage that I'm preparing for. So there's a lot of preparation in changing your paradigm. You don't just do it overnight. And when you make a decision, there is work to be done along the way of that transformation that you're working towards. And so there is diets or systems of helping you get there. And so in this case, for my pilgrimage, there's a 30-day preparation period. And you have one part of that preparation is as soon as the 30 days before the trip starts, the first 5 days. So I just did it. You diet, no salt. And I do not recommend that you try this on your own. Don't go just taking no salt for no reason. There has to be a real good reason, because it's not just to have no salt. So for this diet, the reason to not have the salt is because we're going to be working with medicines, and the medicines are already working with me because they're already my ally, and I already have a relationship with them. So that's part of shamanic training that I'm not going to go deep into, but if you're interested in it, come talk to me. And this is something I work with people with as well. And so when you're dieting the no salt for 5 days, I love salt. Like, salt is one of my familiar things that I love. It helps me be in the comfort zone. I like salty food. If I want to eat junk food, it needs to be salty. And so I cook with salt. I'm a heavy salter. And so first, no salt for me is like, takes me right out of my comfort zone. Then but the good thing is that I cook everything I eat. So it's very easy for me just to not add the salt. And I found that very easy. So this was like the easiest no salt diet I've ever done, because I don't eat any processed food anymore, hardly. And I cook everything. So I put the salt on. I did not put the salt on. So for 5 days, I wasn't eating the salt. So it wasn't really the food or the taste. That was really the easy part of the whole diet for me, is the food part. It was not hard for me to cook with no salt and eat with no salt. But what I noticed it was doing, it was really, opening up space. Because salt will help you to hold on to those old patterns. But in connection with the medicine that I'm working with and the no salt, I really got clear about a lot of things. And one of those things was the paradigm, the new paradigm that I want in my life and that you want in your life. That old, familiar, old paradigm is going to test me every step of the way. And I have to choose and decide every step of the way not to go there. So it has to be a practice until it becomes unconscious competence of not choosing the thing that will bring you down, that will take you out, that will lower your frequency. And it is like a leadership practice that you have to install, a personal leadership practice, to not choose against what you want, to not choose against what you want. I just want to, and Bob Proctor was telling a story. I've been listening to him a lot, and he's good, and he's sharp and direct, and so am I. So that's why I like him. And he just gets right down to it. He was telling a story, and I've heard this story. I listened to him while I'm working out, and he says, "Oh, these people, they really want a brand new house, and they don't know why it haven't happened yet." And so they're telling him about it, and he's like, "Oh, we'd really love to have a brand new house." And he's like, "Well, you'll never have it." He just says it to them like that. "Oh, you'll never have it." And they're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you'll never have it because you haven't decided you want it. You haven't decided you want it. You keep flip-flopping about it. Oh, I'd love to have it, but you have not decided." So he really like threw it at them. And that's the thing, is like, we're really in the habit, the old paradigm habit is to really like, "Oh, I really love this. I really would like that. I think I want this," but we don't decide. And then we wonder, why is it not happening for us? Why am I not getting what I really want, the dream that I really want? Because you're not deciding. And the universe and yourself, like, you like clarity, don't you? Don't you like it when you have direction and guidance and you know which way to go? Well, so does the universe, and how it helps you and how it guides you. You need to decide. But once you do decide, you are going to get tested along the way to see if you really want it. If you're going to choose the steps that will help you get there, because this is not like a passive environment we're living in. We're not like, "Oh, the universe is just going to give it to me. It's going to materialize." No, you have to take the aligned actions along with that decision that you've made. And if we go back, if it requires you to be in a higher frequency to get what you want, if it requires you to be magnetic and visible and energetic and full of energy to get what you want, like if you have that big of dreams, you have to be able to maintain it. You have to be able to maintain it, because you can't flake out. You have to stay on the track of it. And I've studied this because I have really big dreams. I want to serve many, many people, and I really want to help you live in a new paradigm. But we have to create it from within us, because the outside world, I don't want to go there. I want to create the world that I'm dreaming about, not the world that's happening right now. So this is not easy work. This is not easy work. We're attempting to create a whole new world to live in, a whole new paradigm. That means we have to let go of the old paradigm ways of being, which is comfort zone, complaining, blaming, gossiping, giving power to outside things instead of taking the power back and being empowered. And so we really need to be more conscious about the decisions. And I'm being firm in tone about this is because I got to do it too. I'm not just saying it to you. I have to do it too. Connie, you're watching, and Teresa. Yes, Connie, this was talked about last night in a meeting again. So I love it. Hey, when we slip back, when we make small gains, right? It's just so interesting how it's so easy for us to slip back to the old familiar when we make a gain in our life, when we move forward. So the best way to prevent that from happening, or to like course correct quickly, is to have a mentor, have a coach. Connie's my nutritionist and personal trainer, and she's one of my biggest fans as well. And she helps me to, like, make sure that food that I'm eating is supporting the energy levels. And I do know the difference when I slip back to having too much of anything that isn't good for me. And it takes my energy. I can feel it right away. Immediately, the energy drop if I let myself, like, eat what isn't good for me. But we can stay the course. We can decide to choose the results that we do want. But those results require certain actions. And so I'm really grateful for everybody who listened today. And I'm just going to put up a banner here. Remember to like, subscribe, and to my channel, and tell your friends about it too. But if you are feeling like, I'm at this crossroads, and why am I still like, I really want this. I have decided. Maybe you think you have decided, but why am I not getting where I want to go? Well, you might be slipping back to the comfort zone. You might be like getting interrupted by your old patterns, by the old paradigm. Book a call with me. And I can help you see that blind spot and navigate to your next step with clarity. And yeah, that's the thing. We need to help each other. And you need to invest in yourself. You need to decide, is this what I really want? Or do I just want to hang out in the old comfort zone? Because that's perfectly fine too. I don't. So I'm going to keep going towards those tests and keep consciously seeing and watching and being aware of how I choose. Which way am I choosing? The new paradigm or the old paradigm? So have a wonderful day. I will see you next week.